Hello, I've been thinking, as normal, of a few things about Aikido and us in general. And I wanted to talk today about categorising different things. There's technical that most people are absorbed in, and really most people are absorbed in this for most of their Aikido life, so it appears. When I put out these talking films in general on YouTube, they do get good views, but the ones that you put out dynamically, doing throws or any form of dynamic work, they get 3 times the hits. People are more interested in watching the fun of it rather than analysing and listening to what makes the cogs go round for you to perform better techniques. So, to categorise it, we've got the techniques that everybody from day one starts to analyse, slowly works out over the years, gets better at it, stronger, fitter, finds more economic ways of doing it, and this is really good. But once you've been doing it a long time, like I have, you start to think, what are the benefits? What are the pluses that I'm getting out of doing Aikido? Not all schools do weapons, but I'm a great believer in the Bukiwaza system, because to me weapons make so much difference to correctness of body angles. You have to blend with your partner, precisely at the right time. It can't just be like, if there's no weapons, then you don't understand panic or fear in the same way as perhaps when you're a beginner you understand panic. Somebody goes to grab you or strike you quick and you panic, but after some time you overcome that easily. With the weapons, you can still be surprised even when you're an advanced student. So to me the weapons are a very important part. So we've got normal taijutsu, technical, bodies, one-on-one or one-on-multiples. We've got bukiwaza, one-on-one, or again multiples. Then you've got variations of Ken on Ken, or Ken against Joe, and vice versa, Joe against Joe. So these are all segments, and if you wanted to write a list of the things that you do in Aikido and what you like, some will come out more on top than the other. I remember things that Saito Sensei said, and he said, and it's in other films, he said, Tony, everybody should have a gi, and if you've got your own dojo, then you need to make sure that you've got a Ken, a Joe, and above all, mirrors. And he made a big thing about this. He said, if you look in the mirror while you're doing techniques, you're about to see whether you're correct or not. But this was mainly when doing weapons, because you can check yourself, you're one-to-one between you and the mirror really, and you can check yourself out. It's very difficult. I do know some exhibitionist teachers who, as they're throwing, they actually look in, I've watched them, and they actually look in the mirror while they're throwing to see how good they look. Sad people, my opinion. So then you go on to, I don't know if he said it or whether I created this myself, but you should film yourself either teaching or training, if the teacher will let you. Film yourself once or twice in a year, every year. Most people don't like looking at themselves. You'll be your own self-critic. If you do this, then you'll be able to look at your postures, your weaknesses, your stronger points, and just ignore the stronger points to a certain degree, if you're looking to improve, always look for the weaknesses, but don't beat yourself up mentally about the weaknesses. Look at them as strengths, because if you've spotted it, then it's a strength because you can start working on correcting it. So how do we correct it? Well, what I've done over the years, even though Saito Sensei was my teacher for 27 years, and I've often spoke about this, he couldn't teach me everything because perhaps I couldn't see everything he was trying to teach me. So I would look at others. I would either look at videos, go on YouTube, of different masters. I remember learning my upright posture more from Chiba Sensei, and then I saw how much Chiba Sensei looked like O Sensei when he was doing his upright postures. I learned my Remanagi of Yamada Sensei, sadly now passed away, and his Remanagi is totally different to an Iwama Remanagi, but I saw a flow, I saw something where you engage with the other person and the timing of when to throw. Nishio Sensei was very much a weapons man, a Aikido master as well as an Aikido master, and I like his preciseness. He looks as if he was doing a lot of his what I call jerky type precise work, but it was direct, but it was more of the body angles that I liked. He would escape just at the right moment. Gozo Shioda, he was an amazing character, very small for Japanese, but he could call upon vast amounts of power an instant, and so I've been working mentally on what I call the power of the mind, and I get a lot of people looking at my energy films. A lot of people say rubbish, they criticise it, but I personally know that we have to find that if we want to get closer to what O Sensei was doing in his own Aikido. So if you don't have the advantage of one-to-one mirrors in your dojo, whether you're a student or teacher, and you don't like doing the weapons, then you like taijutsu, or if you like all of them, then I suggest you ask your teacher if you're a student, or if you are a teacher, film yourself twice a year. Look at what you want to work on and slowly work on it. Now, to get to the main point of this film is I observe myself a lot, and over the years criticised myself a lot, and I realised that reading books on non-martial arts, more about people who give themselves a hard time in life, and they're depressives or depressive people, and some people get in a very bad state to the point of suicide. Now, if you're an inner thinker, like I believe I am, then we can persecute ourselves a lot. But we can also look at the finer detail of what we're looking for. We might not know what we're looking for, but we can search and search, hoping that we'll get an answer to help whatever this thing we're looking for, and sometimes we don't know it, how to open doors. And we sometimes get answers that we're not really asking the question for, or we don't know what we're looking for, and all of a sudden we'll get an answer to something that will make sense. So, I noticed that when watching other sports, other athletes, I notice things, and I say to my Jane, they're under pressure now. They're not going to be doing so well. I can see just because they're at the point of winning, they've not been doing their art long enough, and now they're starting to falter because it's coming so crucial to them. And she'll say, well, I can't see anything wrong, I think he'll be okay. Oh, she'll be okay. It doesn't really matter the human being, what gender, but they may not change, but they start to falter. And I've been doing this for years, and it's in all sports. But what's brought this film about is I'm watching the tennis. A lot of people like the tennis, a lot of people don't like the tennis. But I like to watch the main events, perhaps the Australian Open, the French Open. And in this case, it's come about at the yearly event of the Wimbledon UK Tennis Championship on grass. And I was looking and making the same observations this week. And Jane said, but how can you say that? You said that he was winning, he was doing so well, and then when it comes to the tie break, they got so close. When it comes to the tie break, the person who was winning and doing so well, he started to lose it and completely lost the tie break. And once they get to 6 each, they have to go to the tie break, and then one of them loses the whole of those 6 games in one tie break. And it's because I said the other person's been doing it a lot longer, and even though they'll have stress and concern, they won't. They'll have the depth. They'll have the knowledge from all those years' experience, and the younger person who's not been training so long, they will start to want it so badly that their quality deteriorates. And to me, this is a big factor that we must try to overcome in Aikido. So when I look around the world and think to myself, oh, that person's good, they may not, someone will say to me, but they're not doing our style. So I'm not looking at our style, I'm looking at the person. I'll conclude this in the second half of the film. Thank you for being with me this far.